Welcome to One-on-One, the podcast for tips, tricks, and techniques for the ON1 software community. And here's your host, Scott Kelby.
Well, hey everybody, welcome to One-on-One, where we're going to talk about some of the cool stuff you can do with ON1's awesome suite of plugins and Photo Raw and all the cool stuff. And we like to do it about 5 minutes and 40 seconds late if we can. I think that is kind of the holiday edition of the show. So we had some technical issues, which is our specialty. It's on brand. So but we're back. Excuse me. We're back now. And okay, so some things. All right. First, at the end of the show, we normally will feature a photographer, and we'll turn you on to somebody who's just doing cool stuff. But this time, we're going to start by featuring a photographer, because once I feature him, then I want to show you how I recreate one of his techniques. So the photographer we're going to talk about he's a colleague. He has classes here at Kelby 1. He's taught at the Photoshop World Conference, and he is an outstanding automobile photographer, right? He is so good that brands like Jaguar and Aston Martin all hire him to do their automotive photography. Now, when I met him, he was strictly pretty much an automotive photographer, but he has expanded his business in the last, 8 or 10 years to where he is now a transportation photographer, and he does commercial transportation stuff all over the world. We're talking jets and yachts and just whatever it is. If it has an engine and it moves, he shoots it. And I've always loved his automotive stuff, but the stuff he's done for aviation, I fell in love with. His name is Tim Wallace, and Tim has won a UK Photographer of the Year many times. He's won every award you can win. I lost track of how many awards Tim has won, but he's very, very celebrated photographer and a very, very nice guy. And if you're into automotive photography, I mean like professional level, not go to an auto show, but lighting and doing on-location lighting or in-studio lighting for cars, go watch Tim's classes. He's so good, and his post-processing stuff is excellent, all right? Now, so he's our featured photographer, Tim Wallace. Take a look on my screen here, and I'll show you the kind of thing that I love that he does. So take a look at the 3 jets, the one on the top right and the bottom 2. And what he does is he has this kind of almost a bleach bypass look to his skies, and I love it. I just love it. It works great with cars, it works great with jets, it works great with pretty much everything. But the first thing I want to call to your attention is the streaky sky. So it doesn't work nearly as well with big white puffy clouds. The kind of streaky skies that you see him using here are just, whew, that's the kind of sky. And so recently I was on vacation with my wife. We took a cruise, and the cruise is the best place to do sky replacement. If you want to shoot sky replacement clouds, walk out your cabin. It's just flat, and here's these great skies. I shot 170 skies on our vacation to Barcelona and some other places right around there on a celebrity cruise. It was fantastic. Anyway, let's go back to Tim. Let's look at Tim's skies. This is what I want to show you. I want to show you a couple of ways to get that kind of sky. And we're going to use a couple of different filters inside of ON1 Effects, which is my favorite of the ON1 plugins, but I have many that I use now. I started with Effects, and now I'm just all over the place. So let's take a look. Let me cancel out of this, and let's go look at this picture. This is a picture that desperately needs a sky replacement, right? It's desperate for it. Now, the sky replacement tool that ON1 has created, because you have it in Photoshop, it's just not as good. It's just not as good. In fact, we were talking, I did a workshop last week. I just came back from Australia. I was doing a workshop, and we were talking about sky replacement. And I'm like, and everybody was pretty much like, yeah, ON1 sky replacement, their sky replace AI it's the best. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's start here. We'll start with just finding a better sky. So filter and go to ON1, and we're going to choose Sky Swap AI 2025. So let's go on there. And there we go. All right. It looks bad. Now, you've got a ton of skies from a company called Occudrone, so that you can use their skies. And there's so many of them, and there's so many different categories of skies, right? You can go and get this. I like this blue velvet. It's a little busy. Doesn't look bad, though. Look at the great job it did, though, right? You can go through there and choose that category, and then you can go through and find skies like, yeah, that looks a little long exposure-y, but I'm looking for the streaky skies. You know what? Here's what I recommend. This is great if you don't have a great sky, but you can also import your own skies as well. You can just bring in your own sky, and that's exactly what I did. So if you go here and go to the skies, if you go, categories, the very bottom of the categories, I brought in my own sky. It's Scott's skies. Look, I got it my own streaky sky. Yep, that's from the cruise. If I never went on that cruise, there would be a new tutorial today. It would just be a black screen. All right, I'm going to choose that sky. Now, that sky looks okay, but it doesn't look like Tim's skies because there's one little step that's kind of missing. And that is you need to go to the Effects tab, and that's where ON1 Effects lives right there. We're going to go to Add Filter, and we're going to come over here, and we're going to use a mask. So what I do is just going to affect the sky. So we're going to go over here and choose sky, and you can see the mask appear up there. So it's just affecting the sky, and we're going to go to color adjustment. All right, now, if I click on this little thing called sky, it's going to be sky blue, which is not bad. But what I really want to do is scroll down here to saturation, and this is where it happens. You're just going to desaturate that blue. You still want it to be blue. Well, look at that, see? There's a Tim Wallace sky for you right there. Something like, look how far down my saturation is. I'm at what, minus 50. But it does give a really, really nice look. I mean, overall, it's just easy to do. Let me try a different image here. I'm gonna hit cancel, and let me grab another image. I've got another one here. All right, and this one again, bald sky. It's kind of killing the shot. This is one of the FA-18s of the Blue Angels out on the tarmac in Fort Worth, Texas. And let's go to Filter, ON1 Sky Swap, AI 2025, and we're going to grab that same sky, and because it works so well. We go down here to, I want to go to Category, and we'll go all the way to the bottom, and there's my sky. Look at that. And then you know what the second step is. Add a filter, say just affect the sky, and go to color adjustment. I usually click on the blue, go down here to saturation, and bring it way back, and you get that kind of Tim Wallace look. Now, if you wanted that look overall, I don't want to lose the blue of the plane, but if you want that look overall, you'd skip the part where I click on mask. So you would skip the masking, but I think in this case, I love the way that sky looks. Now, I've done this sky with portraits, not this exact one, but this type of streaky sky. So I'm always on the lookout for this particular one. And let me just show you one more. I'm going to hit cancel here. Just this one's already done, but it's the same thing. And I think it looks in the right context. So this one, I ran it over the whole thing. Now there is an effects plugin called Bleach Bypass that has its own look, but I think really this method of kind of throwing in the sky, masking it, and then desaturating it looks more like Tim's style than the actual bleach bypass here. Let me throw a thing on here. We'll choose bleach bypass, but we're not going to mask the sky this time. All right. Let's go to sky swap. It's not going to remember which one I used. I'm going to go grab it real quick. We're going to go under category. We're going to hit my. There we go. All right, we're just going to click OK, and I'm going to let it come on. Oh, I didn't mean to click OK. It's that kind of day. All right, it's a 5-minute start and late date. That's the kind of day it is. All righty, let's go and hit effects, and there is a bleach bypass, which is that's it right there. That's the bleach bypass look. But you have all these. Here's normal. There's lighter. But they still, I think, need to be desaturated a bit, any of these. I think strong is the one that looks the best, but it still needs, an amount of desaturation or something to go down here, the slider here. and pull it back. So now it's not just on the sky, it's on the sky and the plane. And I think that's probably more like what he's doing, though I usually just do it in the sky, but he does that. Anyway, I just wanted to introduce this to you because I think it's a cool effect. And I like airplanes, and I like cars, and I like Tim. Go check him out. His website is, by the way, let me pull it up here for you. It is Ambient Life is his website. And hey, look at this shot right here. What is that, like a Mustang? Let's see if it'll let me see it larger. All right. I'll have to zoom. There it is. But you can see, look at that nice streaky sky. Those streaky skies look awesome. Now, he's got a great runway there. He's got a much better runway than I did. But you can see some of his skies there. But that's the stuff. I wish he would make it bigger here. Or maybe it's under his portfolio. Hang on one second. Yeah, he shoots such cool stuff. Hey, let's look at aviation. Maybe we can see that bigger. There we go. There we go. Isn't that a nice sky? Is it just me? No. And I think that's like a P-51 Mustang, I think, right there. Anyway, he gets to do lots of cool stuff. He's a very cool guy. That's how he rolls. All right, we got some people tuning in from all over. Eileen is here from a cold and frosty Argyll and Bute, Scotland. I know I'm saying that wrong. I'm sorry, Eileen. Tony is here from Dublin. All right, Don is saying good afternoon from a somewhat sunny Castro Valley, California. Paul's here from wonderful Quebec, Canada. TJB is here saying hi from beautiful Yorkshire. There you go. Michael's here from Philly. Jerry's here from Indiana. So thank you guys for tuning in from all over. But Dylan is standing by. He's got some cool stuff to show us. I think he's going to show us some AI preset stuff, which is, it's fairly cool.
Yeah. It's going to be,
yeah.
It sounds intimidating.
Yeah.
It sounds intimidating at first, but it's really easy to do, and it just saves you a lot of time, especially if you're a portrait photographer or someone that batch processes.
There you go.
Especially with the introduction into Photo Raw of the subject and background masking, it makes it incredibly easy to create them. So let's just start with a portrait. I'll just go into the edit module. We'll go to local, and we'll just use this add adjustment option, and we'll use subject. So it's automatically going to detect the subject. It's going to create a mask for us. Does a really great job. You can see around the hair, whatnot, just phenomenal job for the masking edges. But typically, something with a backlit scene, you may want to bring up the midtones, maybe add in some contrast, whatever it may be. So we've illuminated our subject. We've already created a little bit of separation between the subject and the background. And now let's go into effects and just add a vignette just to top it off. And so in no time at all, relatively decent edit. And specifically for portraiture like this, you probably want just a nice minimal look on the photo. And so what we can do is we'll just go up to the settings option in the top, which I hope you can see. If not, I can share my whole screen. But you just go to settings.
Yeah, we see it.
And then save settings as preset. And so I've created this custom category. You can go in here and add it into a specific category that you've already made. But I just have this custom preset category there. And so I'll just maybe name this subject vignette. And now you have these different options that you can use to include various sliders or tools that you used in the edit module into your preset. So I'm just going to remove anything from develop. I didn't do anything to develop. Just going to use effects there. But this is the kicker. We're going to open up either local adjustments, or if you did use masking inside of effects, you want to roll that open and choose apply masks. So it's essentially carrying over that subject mask that you created so that you can apply that to similar photos. But because it is a subject mask, you can actually use it on pretty much any image with a prominent subject. That could be a car, it could be wildlife capture, you name it. And so I'm just going to go to save. And then let's say we have a similar photograph or even just a portrait image. We can now go into our custom presets that we created. We'll click on our subject vignette. Let me go into edit so we can see the mask being created. So I'll click on the preset there. You see
Yeah.
it's right in the subject, it's given in the vignette, and then in local, we have our subject mask. Oops, get out of here. Just like that.
Yeah.
But you can also go in and batch process. So for example, these all have prominent subjects here. So I'll just reset these. But let's say you have a group of photographs with a subject that you want to be a bit brighter and you want a vignette around them. You could click inside browse. You could also do this in edit, but I typically do the batch processing in browse. Just click on that subject vignette and it will apply all of those different masks into those various areas. So for example, with the car, even though it's not a person, it is a subject, sort of a prominent subject. And it's created a mask for us for the vehicle there.
Well, it's bloody nice.
Yeah, so a really easy way to just quickly target a specific region. You could do this with, background subject. We have sky there. There's also the Mask AI menu. So if you wanted to target specific areas like transportation or something like that, you could do that as well. One thing I like about the AI presets is using it for skies. And you might be able to use this in your aviation technique that you were showing. But for example, if we're going in and we're masking in a really bright sky, something like this where we have, a ton of highlight clipping going on, we can go and add an adjustment into the sky, just choose sky. And I'm going to bring the exposure back quite a bit, maybe add in contrast. And then I typically add in a little bit of white there right until I reach that. And this is really dramatic. You don't have to make it this intense. But I just wanted to show you sort of how specific the mask gets. So for example, you can see it's a really specific mask edge there. And you can see that within that hill line. So if I turn that up and on, there's sort of this haloing going on. And so what I'll typically do is I'll go into the masking options and I'll refine the mask with feathering. And so I'll just pull up on the feathering and it'll just blend those edges in. Now, one thing you can also do, because essentially when you are feathering the mask, you're, bringing those edges and feathering those out, making them softer, you may darken those hills up. And this may be a little bit tough to see, but you can go into the adjustment, go into blending, and use this protect section. And you can protect those darker areas within the hills. So I'll just pull up on here. It's a little bit tough to see through. Maybe we'll go to a darker area over here. But it just protects those darker areas within that region that you're feathering into. Don't have to do that, but sometimes if you do have a region where it already has those darker shadowy tones and you're sort of feathering it into it, that blending protect option can really help to just ensure you don't muddy that area.
Yeah.
But the great thing about the refine mask option when you're feathering is it will copy that feathering into the AI mask. So let me just create a mask, or let's create a preset for this. Actually, let's add in an effect. Maybe we'll just add dark glow, my favorites. So we get sort of this dreamy landscape edit. And I'll just go into settings, same thing, save settings as preset. We'll add it into our custom presets. I'll use sky darken, whatever you want to name it, or move any develop settings. I'll leave the effects as they are because I didn't use any masking. And then I'll use my local adjustment section, roll that open, apply masks, save that. And then let's say we have a photograph that has a really bright sky, just like we did earlier. We'll go in, use our preset drawer, and we'll choose sky darken, and it will automatically bring in that sky local adjustment. But the great thing about it is it brings in the feathering as well. Now I brought the feathering quite a bit. You don't actually have to have 100% feathering, but you can see with images like this, it just does a great job of just ensuring that you don't have really harsh edges within that environment that you're editing. Yeah, it's really easy to use. You can add on multiple different adjustments. You can use this with mask layers, but my preferred method is just using either a subject and a background mask, combining the two, or just using the sky option because it works really well to just save you a bit of time when you're editing.
So Dylan, I haven't tried it, but you probably have because, like, you work there. So, hey, if you ever get to go read Dylan's bio on the ON1 website, it'll make you cry. I'm telling you right now.
I need to read it. I don't think I've ever read it.
I'll read it for you.
Okay.
With nearly 10 years of experience behind the camera, you think he'd be better. But no, it does not say that. Come on.
You think you take photos where you don't need to edit so much?
It was just dead silence there. No, so my question for Dylan, my question is, I haven't tried it, and I'm not sure that I just saw it. Will it pick up, if you choose the sky in SkySwap, and you save that, it'll just save the mask. It won't put in the sky from SkySwap in a preset. Or will it?
Yeah, it will.
It will?
It'll target this. Yeah. So, I mean, we could try it with this one.
Ooh, now I'm getting very excited. I've never tried it, but now I'm thinking, what a great use for it.
It's not just gonna put in the. So if you had a previous landscape and you replace the sky, it's not gonna take that exact mask. It's gonna say, oh, here's a new photo, and put in a different mask. Let me remove.
Well, I knew that the AI would do that, right? That's the whole power of this. But what will it do is SkySwap? That's what I'm.
Yeah, you can create AI or SkySwap AI presets. Let me see.
I'm very intrigued.
That looks pretty good. It actually looks really good. So let's save that as a preset. SkySwap blue clouds. And we have our glow, so we'll leave that, and then we have sky there. Just make sure you have sky enabled.
Ah.
Now I'm going to try it on this other photo, but it may not look that great, but just to give you an idea. Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah. Hey, that works. I had no idea. Well, because, and you wouldn't want the same sky again and again and again and again unless you're doing a bunch of pictures in the same exact location.
Exactly.
Like, at an air show where you have a plane parked on the ramp, and the sky, unless those things are blowing, it's going to be pretty much the same sky.
Same thing.
That's I did not know that. I'm very intrigued now.
Yeah.
See,
for stuff like that.
Dylan, this is why we have you on. This is it. He always brings something to the table that I don't know.
I always love showing something new.
And I'm using these things all the time, and there's it's pretty vast. Photo raw itself is vast. There's so many things, depending on what you're going to do, right? Everybody's got their own different thing. All right. Well, Dylan, thanks very much. And Dylan, where can people go find out about you? Are you on Instagram as Dylan Kotecki, or is there?
Yeah, it's just at Dylan DYLAN Kotecki, KOTECKI.
All right, so go follow him right now. Stop what you're doing and do it, and also don't forget to leave nasty comments.
Please do.
No. Ooh, hey, can we? All right, I'm gonna tell the control room. Can we scroll down a little? I want to see what is that thing to the left in the middle? Over 2 more, right there. Where's this?
It's in Portland.
It's in Portland.
It's in downtown Portland.
Wow.
Yeah, just aimed up. Took me forever to get it all symmetrical, but.
Oh, that's the thing.
It's kind of like a lobby to an apartment building, and so there was people walking by, kind of like, "What are you doing?" I think at one point I laid on the ground and.
Oh yeah, that's when they start asking questions.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, so we were like I said, we were in Sydney, Australia this week, and we were there was a beam of light, and we were waiting for people to walk into this beam of light, but there's like 14 of us all shooting this beam of light, and sure enough, here comes security. I saw them coming, and they were beaming us like, what the hell's going on? So I went out and met them. And I told them, hey, we're a group of photographers, there's a beam of light. And they were like totally cool with it. And they're like, really? Where are you guys from? And they were just, it turned the whole situation around. But it looked like it was going to go quite badly. But they were very kind, luckily. But
What's that saying? Better to ask for forgiveness than
for permission, right?
Yeah,
because if you said, hey, we want to set up and shoot over here, oh, no, you can't do that. But they were like, oh, that's cool. Where are you guys from? And then
Totally.
we started chatting, and I'm chatting to them, and everyone's still shooting, so nobody stopped, nobody got interrupted. All right, so look, this is Dylan. This is normally where we recommend another photographer, but you're now the photographer we're recommending. I highly recommend Dylan, who is, by the way, has nearly 10 years of experience behind the camera and in front of it as an instructor. Dylan brings a uniquely engaging style to ON1's educational content. His background in video production sparked a passion for photography, especially architecture and real estate. That continues to influence his creative approach today. And if he could just put the bottle down, and no, it doesn't say that. It doesn't, but it should. But it should. It should say that.
So.
Dylan, thank you very much.
The holidays.
It's the holidays. It's okay. This is the time of year. Dylan, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate it. I hope you have a happy holiday. And to everybody watching out there, thank you guys for tuning in. We very much appreciate it, especially the international audience that we have with us today. Thank you guys so much. Hope you picked up a few tips. Every time Dylan's on, I always learn something new every single time. I always tell him that, like we're off the air. I'm like, dang, I did not know that. And this is another one of those occasions. Hope you learned something too. Here's wishing you a safe and happy Thanksgiving. And if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, you're part of the world, you don't celebrate it on Thursday, then happy Thursday. And have a nice weekend. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.